Hey, welcome back to class. Let's go and bow in, cheer up, bow, kunyi. All right, let's go ahead and start with our warm-up. Let's do jumping jacks today. Nice and loose. Let's get everything warm. Now let's go to our punch and switch. All right, let's try to have opposite hand and foot in front and get nice and relaxed. Not tensing the hands, but I do want my hands going out and back to my face. Switch those feet, nice and relaxed. Get that blood flowing. Don't hold your breath. Now let's get into a sparring stance and let's bounce. And we can move a little bit forward and backwards. I want you now playing around with some of these little micro footwork patterns. All right, so this would be a micro footwork pattern where I'm going this forward and backwards. I can drop. I could either drop straight down. I could drop forward. As I go forward, it's kind of like a feint, kind of eliciting a reaction on your opponent's part. Here, move back. And with these, I can just kind of start to move around. I can do small pivots. Let's go and switch legs, same thing. We can go this forward and backward. Again, these are little micro movements. I'm only moving a few inches at a time. I'm not taking a big step forward or a big step backwards. I can practice going just forward and backward each time. Hands are nice and relaxed. Let's stand squared. Let's go side to side. Smooth both of our feet. And bring one to the center as one goes out. Boom, boom, boom. Your calves starting to burn yet? No? Oh, I guess we can do more then. All right, let's put one foot behind us and we're gonna switch. Nice, relaxed hands, switch, foot up. You can add those micro movements in here. I want you continuously moving though. I don't want you just waiting for me to say switch. Okay. Bounce, switch, move around, switch. We could switch and go forward slightly. We could switch and go backward slightly. Switch, 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 switch. Switch. So you can probably hear my feet skidding on the ground because my legs are staying low, not jumping up high. Switch. My chest is facing one way. Switch. And then my chest faces the other way. Switch. 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 All right. Are your calves burning yet? Want to shake them out? Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of stretching. So now we're going to do our socket stretch first. Go down, nice and low, and come back up. Down, nice and low, and back up. Let's do 8 of these. That's 3, 4, 5. Keep that heel on the ground. 6, 7, and 8. Let's go to the other side. Same thing. Let's do 8 of these. Bent knee, toes pointed out, toes pointed in, heel on the ground, the back leg. Toe down. 1, 2. It's not a super fast motion. It's nice and controlled. 3. Trying to go a little bit further each time. 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, 8. Okay, let's go ahead and drop one knee down. We're going to do the hip stretch, the kneeling hip stretch, and we're gonna come back, sitting back on it, and get that hamstring stretch. So again, let's do 8 of these. That's 1. Breathe out, 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Last one. 8. Switch sides. Same thing. Let's get that kneeling hip stretch. And sit back to the hamstrings. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Just gotta stand up, shake it out, grab this standing quad stretch. Hold it for a few seconds. And other side. This one I'm doing kind of a static hold, but I'm not doing a super long static hold. I just want to stretch it out. All right, now we're gonna do 8 stretch kicks on each side. So it's a stretch kick. Stretch kick is this. Okay, I'm just gonna kick my leg up and bring it down. Nice and relaxed. This is kind of a ballistic stretch. Okay, so I don't want you to go super hard as you can, kicking this up, especially not on your first one. It'll be kind of like we did for the other ones. We're gonna progressively ease into it. Maybe my muscles are tight. My first one's only here. And then I go a little bit higher. That's fine. Don't go all the way as hard as you can on your very first one and pull something, right? Nice and relaxed. I also like to kind of rock forward as I do this and rock back, right? I'll do my stretch kick, I'll come back, and then I'll rock forward again, giving it a little bit of momentum. So I'm not really using as much muscle, but I'm still getting the stretch. Again, it's a stretch kick. It's kind of like an axe kick, but it's a stretch kick. Ready? 8 on each side, and begin. 1, 2, nice and relaxed. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale as you kick up. 7, 8. And same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Take a breath in and out. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move on to our front kicks. So we're going to do a rear leg front kick. So we're going to be in our, you can go in a fighting stance or sparring stance, whichever one you prefer. Hands are up, and we're going to kick and then bring it back. Again, make sure that wherever your full extension happens at, your knee does not go higher than wherever it was at full extension. Even if it's down here, I don't want to do that, okay? We're gonna do 2 sets of 10, and begin. 1, 2, On this one, I wanna try not to rock so much. I just wanna kick. 3. Still wanna pivot, 30 to 45 degrees with the base foot. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Switch legs, same thing, other side. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Breathe in and out. Other leg. Switch again. Ready? 1. Exhale every kick. 2. If you have a target, you're more than welcome to kick the target. 3. If you're kicking with the target, hit with the ball of the foot. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, I want to talk about something for kicking with the target because it kind of forces you to do something that I just told you not to do. So if I kick with the target, at a target, especially if I go through the target and it's a bag, right? People, not quite the same, but on a bag, if I push it and it doesn't just slide away from me, if it just kind of leans and wants to come back at me, I might have to bring my knee up higher after that, right? So if I kick and I'm here and I extend, right? So the bag just kind of slid away, so it made it a little bit harder for me. But I might have to bring the knee back and raise it up slightly higher just to get my foot out of there. Because if it is leaning, let's see if I can do this without making him just fall backwards, right? I have to raise up in order to free my leg. So it does come up a little bit higher because he's slanting. I can't just bend my knee down. It just doesn't go that way. There's something in the way. So I will have to bring my knee up a little bit higher after full extension. If I'm kicking a bag, if I'm kicking the air, do not do that, okay? So just gonna keep that in mind. We go one more set on our left leg. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try to pull your toes back, even if you're not kicking on something. 9, 10. Breathe in and out. Okay, so I just finished with my left leg, so I'm gonna put my right leg in front for this next one. We're gonna do a front leg front kick. So we're going to keep our front leg front, raise it up, have that flexed ankle, right? I'll show from the side. Raise it up, flex the ankle, extend out, bring it back, and set it down. So we're keeping it in the front. I'm not gonna kick and bring it to the back right now, and I'm not kicking with the back leg, just kicking with the front leg. When you're doing this, try not to lean back so far that your weight goes over your heel or past your heel. Again, if I kick something, I might fall back. I want to have it so that I'm actually going to be falling forward. As you can see, my back foot is still behind my hips, even when I raise up to do this kick. I don't want to go here and kick. Yes, I have good balance here. I can hold my balance, but not if something's pushing into me, right? If I kick something, I have that equal but opposite force applied back into my foot, so I'm being pushed back at the same time. I don't want to fall. So even though I can sit here and hold my balance great, it doesn't mean anything whenever there's force being applied and then I'm falling backwards. So I would rather, when you raise your leg, you'd be in a position where you're falling forward so that when force is applied, you still fall forward back into your stance instead of falling backwards. So keep that in mind whenever we're doing this. I want you falling forward and don't want you falling backwards. We're gonna do 2 sets of 10. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other leg, same thing. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breath in and out. Same thing, other side. Okay, and now I talked about I want you falling forward. Remember, with martial arts, there's rules, but there's always an exception to all of the rules. So you might see me do something a little bit different later. Depending on the scenario, there's always changing. Martial arts is always fluid, it's dynamic. It's never, this is the only way. And if somebody tells you this is the only way, then you know they're wrong, right? There's so many ways to do everything that you can sit here and argue for days on every little detail of every technique. Okay, so just be aware of that. Don't, this is the only way, but this is the way I want you doing it right now. Later on, we might change some things, and that's okay. 10 more each side. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale every time. 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breath in. The next thing that we're gonna do is going to be a jab, rear leg, half roundhouse kick, right? And remember, this could also be a round knee whenever we're throwing this. It could be a kick or a knee, depending on your distance and proximity to your opponent. So for now, we're going to jab. Remember, jab is always with the front arm. And then as we're pulling this one back to our face, we're going to throw this other arm out as we throw our half roundhouse kick. Or if you want to think about it as that round knee, that's fine as well. And I want you to bring it back to that rear position. If it was a half knee, you'd probably hit, boom, and then it would just land in front. But I want you to practice your balance right now, and I want the counter pivot as well. Okay, so we're going to bring it all the way to the back. Ready? We're gonna do 2 sets of 10. 1, jab, half roundhouse, bring it back. Make sure to pivot over 90 degrees. The goal is 180. 2, jab, half round. 3, jab, half round. Try to get this relatively horizontal, not too much angled upwards. 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure you're pivoting on the ball of the foot, not on the heel of the foot. 8, 9. You could also do this on a bag if you'd like. 10. If you're gonna do it on a bag, I want your whole shin across the bag, right? Whole shin across the bag. Not just knee right to the center. I want your shin to pass that center line on the bag if that's what you're doing, okay? Switch sides, same thing. Jab, half round. So if you are hitting a bag, I only want you to do about half of them on the bag, and I want you to do the other half in the air for control and balance. 2, 3. Try to get that shin horizontal to the ground. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breath in, and we're gonna switch sides. Now on this one, I want you to go a little bit faster and more fluidly between the 1 and the kick. You can still pause there and then slowly bring it back, but I want it a little bit more fluid. So if you've been going 1, 2, go a little bit quicker, a little bit more fluid, but still try to have that pause when you're here, and then bringing it back, okay? Ready? 10 more on each side. 1, 2. Try to bring the hand that just did the jab back to your face and hold it at your cheekbone. 3. The other hand can be out here, that's fine. I want you to try to get that one back to your face. So 4. Ooh, I forgot the jab. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay. I don't know if you're watching on that, but the last few I hit the bag and I hit it with the half roundhouse kick as kind of a roundhouse kick, but with the shin. So I didn't really quite get the extension out of it, but the cool thing about a half roundhouse kick is it's a different way to do a roundhouse kick. Right? It could literally be the whole roundhouse kick with a half roundhouse kick. So I know we got one more side, but I want to show you this real quick. So I've got my bag here, right? And when I'm doing this half roundhouse kick, I can bring my knee past, right? So here's the center line. You can kind of see it. He's got abs. He's been working out. So he's got the center line right here. I want to bring my knee all the way to his shoulder line as I'm going for this kick, right? So I'm here. That half roundhouse kick is a different version of a full round kick, okay? So be aware of that. It's not just half a roundhouse kick. It has more purpose than that. So one more time, I'm here. The only difference is when we're doing it in the air, we're not having any sort of extension whenever I'm kicking in this manner, right? And I'll show you what the full roundhouse kick, the full Taekwondo roundhouse kick is more like this, right? Relatively snappy. I forgot what style it was. It's a different style of kickboxing, but it's a round kick just like this with the half knee, except for right before I make impact with the half shin or the half roundhouse kick, I will have just a little bit of an extension, but it's not a lot of extension, and I'm impacting mostly with the shin in this more of a forward motion. So just because it's half a roundhouse kick, don't take away from the fact that it's half a roundhouse kick, because it's also a full round kick, and we can apply that. And that's one of the ways that I really like to actually do round kicks, is with the shin that way, instead of kicking with the top of the foot in a more snappy motion. This one breaks ribs pretty easily. Right? So just be aware of that. There's more to it than half a roundhouse kick, okay? Other side, got one side left. Right hand, right foot in front, jab, half round, and bring it back. Jab, half round, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breath in and out. The next thing we're gonna do is gonna be very similar to what we just did, except for now we're going to go jab, followed by a cross, and I'm gonna give you the option, and ideally you're practicing both of these, but one is a switch, and notice this isn't a full switch. My hips aren't actually switching. I'm just switching my stance. And then half roundhouse, or jab, cross, step, half roundhouse. Now, when I do a step, it's usually because I have an opponent that was in front of me, and I jab, cross, and they move back, right? So now I'm stepping in, and as I'm stepping with my toes already at 45 degrees. I'm gonna pivot a little bit more as I throw the kick, but I'm giving myself the advantage by having less of a pivot. So don't step with your toes point forward, step with your toes already to the side, but this allows me to close that distance. 1, 2, boom, right? So just be aware of that. That's one of the reasons why you would do a step. Maybe your opponent isn't backing up. Maybe they're throwing punches at the exact same time as you. It's very common, right? They stand in the pocket. So we're boom, boom. They're here, and they're still in this space right here. So I switch, and I hit them, okay? So that's when they're in the same space. They're within the single distance versus the double distance. So that's why I want you to practice both. They're both great, but I'm giving you the choice of which one. If you wanna do 1 and 1, awesome. If you wanna do 5 and then 5 of the other, cool, up to you. I'm just gonna mix them up as I feel. Ready? 2 sets of 10. Jab, cross, step, half round, and back. Reset with that same foot in front. Jab, cross, switch round. 3, jab, cross, make sure your shoulder is still close to your chin. 4, that was 3, I don't know why I said 4. Jab, cross, kick, 4. 5, jab, cross, kick. 6, jab, cross, kick. 7, jab, cross, switch kick. 8, jab, cross, step kick. 9, jab, cross, switch. 10, jab, cross, step. Breathe in, out. Other side, switch your stance. All right, now this is gonna be more of a fighting stance rather than a long sparring stance. 1, jab, cross, step, round. 2, jab, cross, switch round. And make sure that switch is fast and that you're not jumping up high as you're doing this. You're here, my head stays about at that same height as I go for this. Boom, boom, and kick. What number was on? We'll go with this is 5. Might be wrong, I don't know. 5, jab, cross, switch, kick. 6, jab, cross, step, kick. 7, jab, cross, step, kick. 8, exhale each time. 9, 10, take your breath in. Same thing, other side. Switch your stance again. Hands are up by your face. Jab, cross, kick. I'm gonna do it a little bit faster, that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in and out. Other side. Last one. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, kick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this is a bad cross, my bad, 10, breathe in, and out, catch your breath, breathe in, and out. From here, we're gonna do another punch kick combo. So we're gonna get into our fighting stance. We're gonna kick this time with a front leg, front kick. As it drops down, I'm gonna slide forward and hit with my cross. Now I do wanna slide forward with this cross. So I'm kicking and I'm not gonna set it down in the same place. I'm not gonna fall forward, press off, and hit my cross. Reason being, I either initiated, right, or I defended. So think about this. And if I initiated, I had to have a little bit of a movement forward to initiate, or if I defended, they're coming in, and I either stopped their forward movement by the kick, right? So now they're either in place. At the end of my kick, which is further than my hand, so I'd have to slide, they came in, and I was able to kick them and push them back a little bit, in which case I would have to move even more forward. Or the worst case scenario, I kicked them and they pushed it off to the side and now they're in this space, right? We're not focusing on that one. We're focusing on we actually hit them with the kick this time. So they either stopped, in which case they're at the end of our kicking range, which again is longer than our punching range. So we have to have a little bit of a close of the distance, or we hit them and they stumbled slightly backwards, in which case we have to have this much further distance for that cross. So just be aware of what can happen, right? If you have a bag, obviously the bag is gonna be the one that stayed in place versus being pushed back unless your bag is really light and just moves back constantly. Okay, ready? We're gonna do 2 sets of 10. So in our fighting stance, front leg, front kick, kick, move forward, hit that cross, other hand's at the face, shoulder is still up as we're throwing that cross, and then we're gonna come back. We won't count that one. 1, kick, cross, back. 2, kick, cross, back. 3, 4, back. 5, get that distance forward, back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other hand to my face as I throw that cross. Protect. And back. Switch stances. Same thing. Ready? 1, kick, cross, back. Back into that fighting stance each time. I don't want you to just kick, cross, drop the hands, reset back here. No, you didn't knock them out with that cross. I'm not a big believer of your punch is always gonna knock them out. I'm a big believer of you probably didn't even hit them with that punch. It probably slid right off their face. So you need to be back into your fighting stance. We'll just say that was 1. 2, kick, cross, back. 3, kick, cross, back. 4, kick, other hands up, straight in the face, shoulders up, straight in the face, back. Man, I talk too much, I don't even know what I'm at. We'll go with 5. 5. Hopefully you're getting more training rather than less. 6. 7. Move forward, move back. 8. 9. 10. Breathe in. And out. We got one more set on each side. Switch stance. Hands are up. All right, cheekbones temples, hands are up here, they're up high. Right? Ready? 1, kick, cross, back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If your technique is starting to go, slow down. 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, switch stances. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Deep breath in and out. The last thing that we're going to do today is going to be solo drill number 2. So if you remember from last class, solo drill number 2 is a low block. Low block, if I started with my left, I continue starting with my left. High block, front kick, and then I would start the next one with my right side. Okay, so we're just going to do 10 of these today. Ready? My count. 1, low block, high block, put that tension at the end, high block, front kick, hands up, front kick, back to your Junbei, your ready position. Now start with the other hand. 2, low block, high block, front kick, back to Junbei. 3, low block, high block, make sure your hands at the belt. High block, hands up, front kick. 4, low, high, kick. 5, low, turn the hips. Low, high, kick. 6, low, high. Have that twist at the last second. High, kick. Back to Junbei. 7, 8, turn the hips. Tighten everything up at the end. Twist at the end. Not too fast, we're not rushing it. 2 more. 9. Throw the belt every time. No, you haven't quite got your belt yet, but think about throwing the belt every time. 10. 9. Now I'm going to quickly recap the things that we went over today. Beginning today, we went over our front kicks with the rear leg, kicking with the ball of the foot. After that, we transitioned to a front kick with the front leg. From there, we went to jab, rear leg, half roundhouse kick. And I talked about how that's a different type of a full roundhouse kick, so don't skimp on that. Then we went jab, cross, and we either did a step half round, or went jab, cross, and while keeping the hips in the same place, switched and did our half round. After that, we went and practiced our front leg, front kick, and moved forward as we hit with that cross, and then we retracted back. And then from there, we went to our solo drill number 2, which was the low block, high block, high block, front kick, front kick. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start cooling down and stretching off a little bit. So, as you probably realize, one of my favorite ones to do right after exercising is the sumo splits. I like this one. Go ahead and do it because it's a relatively easy one. It's not super painful, but it gets us ready for if we are gonna do the splits. It gets us ready for that. I can even just rock a little bit with it and warm those hips back up. The body should be kind of warm, but it also depends on the temperature of the room you're training in. If you're like me and it's under 40 degrees in the room that you're in, well, you might still be a little bit cold, in which case you need to warm up a little bit more, or keep it warm at least. All right, so now I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna show you from the side this time. So I'm actually going back and forth as I rock from side to side and bringing one knee back and one knee slightly forward, and I'm pivoting. Notice how now my feet are not on this straight line like it would be if I'm just relaxing into the stretch. See how I'd start falling forward like that when I start to move. Okay, from here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the splits. We're gonna quickly go to the seated splits this time. So we're putting our hands down. Let's go into the splits nice and slowly, as much as we can. I'm gonna hold this for a few seconds and then we'll drop down to the seated splits. Ideally, I want you to feel that relaxation before we go into the seated splits. Tell your muscles to relax. Say, calm down, it's okay. Few deep breaths. Taking the deep breaths will help you relax more as you're doing this. If we're hyperventilating, our body's gonna be tight. This should be almost like a meditative part. Breathe in slow. Breathe out slow. Tell your body to starting to relax. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the seated splits. So we're going to sit down. When you do this, be mindful of not letting your legs slide in together. So I wanna just sit right down, nice and slowly. All right, if I sit down too fast, my legs are just gonna clap together, and that's not something I want, especially if you're on something that's a little bit more slick and your feet are able to slide in a little bit more. Okay, from here, I want you to walk your hands forward. So I do what's called a finger walk, right? Where my fingers all take these little steps and pull me forward. And when I get to a certain part, I'll drop my elbows down and try to relax. Now you might be way up here. You might not be able to go down like that. Do the finger walk as much as you can and then hold it wherever you're at. Right? Everyone is slightly different. That's okay. We're all at different points too. Right? This is still the introductory class. We're not even in the white belt level yet. This is still introductory. Right? This is to be able to earn your white belt. And then we'll go a little bit more and a little bit more. Okay? By the time you get to the black belt level, well, if you're consistent, you will be better. I guarantee you will be better. I won't tell you that you'll have full splits because I can't guarantee that. That's on you. But I guarantee that if you go through all of these lessons, you will be much, much better than you were when you began. It's a promise. Lean down. If you can, drop the elbows down. Go forward. And take a nap. I feel a lot of tension right here. Relax. From here, I want your hands forward, and I want you to walk to one side. Hands back to the front. Let's walk to the other side. honest with you guys, my knee is not appreciating doing the splits today. It really isn't. In case you didn't know, I had knee surgery and probably need another knee surgery. And so the splits is not a fun thing for me anymore. It used to be. I used to really love it before I had torn ligaments. Now it's not as fun, but I still want it back. So I'm still gonna keep pushing. And remember though, no pain. Don't push through the pain. Just discomfort. Okay, from here, I'm gonna lean back. If you need to, you can assist your legs on coming back in. Your adductors are probably a little bit tight here. Bring them in. That's the one that doesn't like it. And get some butterflies going. So you can do this even if you've had some prior injuries. Always talk to your doctor first. Disclaimer there. Always talk to the doctor first. But it's okay, right? Work around what you can do. Again, don't injure yourself. Never push through pain, right? Only push through discomfort. And you need to recognize what the difference between pain and discomfort is. Pain is what you think is going to lead to an injury. If you felt something and it hurt, and then for the next week or two, you can't do something because of it, that was probably pain. If you are just uncomfortable and you are a little bit sore the next day or two, but then you're fine, it's not actually impeding anything, that's discomfort. Work through discomfort, don't work through pain. Just flap it a little bit more, wings of the butterfly. Let's go ahead and in this position here, right, grab your ankles, pull them in close, and then walk forward, or you can even keep your hands here and just pull, lean forward, get a little bit of back stretch. You can press down with your elbows onto your knees and pull forward at the hands. And do that, that'll stretch a little bit of the glutes, a little bit of your adductors. If you need to, flap it back out again. Okay. You're probably mostly all right-handed, so I'm gonna say this for right-handed people. Left foot, knee up, foot planted. Left hand up, protect the head. Right hand on the ground. Press up, hips off the ground, leg off the ground, right leg off the ground. Slide your right leg back underneath you. Still keeping this hand up, blocking, and stand up. Okay, it's called technical stand up. That's how, if you're sitting like that, I want you to start standing up like that so you're protecting your face in case you do get knocked over for whatever reason. If you need to shake out your legs a little bit more, do these modified hip twists. It's one I always like to do. Now let's go ahead and bow out. Cheer up, bow, kunye. Great job on that class, you guys. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment what you liked, comment what you liked, comment what you didn't like, comment what you want to see more of, and just tell me that you had fun. All right, have a great day, you guys.